Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today. We're going to decode the intense, wildly high-energy lyrics of Siir Siir, which is the track performed for the massive FIFA World Cup 2026 opening match. You know, when you listen to a global sports anthem, it's so easy to just get lost in the beat and the whole spectacle of it all. But if you actually stop and listen to the words they're singing to billions of people, wow, it's a literal masterclass in high-performance psychology. So we're going to break down exactly how this song constructs a mindset built for the biggest stage on Earth. Okay, let's start right off with the core premise. There only can be one at the top. Right out of the gate, the anthem establishes the absolute cutthroat exclusivity of elite competition. This definitely isn't a song about just showing up and participating. It's about the brutal reality of tournament sports. It sets the stakes immediately. When athletes step out onto that pitch, this is the exact psychological reality they're facing. It's a zero-sum game, and this lyric perfectly captures that ultimate, totally uncompromising pressure. And really, that sets up the ultimate question for every single team and fan tuning in. If there can truly only be one at the top, well, what does it actually take to claim that spot? What separates the ultimate victor from everyone else who just goes home empty-handed? The rest of this anthem is basically dedicated to answering that exact question, outlining a very specific psychological blueprint for success. Section 1. The Ultimate Soccer Anthem. Let's look at the foundation here. This incredibly powerful anthem was brought to life by a global trio, Nora Fatihi, Vegedream, and Sanjoy, to kick off the massive FIFA World Cup 2026 opening match in Canada. I mean, think about the pure gravity of that moment for a second. You've got the entire world watching. The energy in the stadium is absolutely deafening. A performance of that sheer magnitude requires a track that doesn't just entertain us, but actually channels the monumental energy of the host nation and the tournament itself. What's really fascinating here is how we can actually isolate the chaotic, pulsing energy of the song into three super clear motivational commands. The lyrics demand that you take the spot, basically daring competitors to step way out of their comfort zones. Then it taunts, keep up with me if you got what it takes, setting this relentless, almost punishing pace. And finally, the ultimate directive, shoot if you got the shot. It's a sequence, actually scratch that. It's more like a series of rapid-fire psychological triggers designed to shift a player from just passively observing into aggressive, decisive action. Moving on to Section 2, Only One at the Top. This is all about the exclusivity. The lyrics actively acknowledge the insane volume of competition out there. Many will come to take the spot. It's reminding the listener of the sheer massive challengers arriving on the global stage. It's not trying to minimize the opposition at all. In fact, it's magnifying it. By recognizing that many will come, the anthem amplifies the prestige of the whole tournament. It tells the athletes, hey, you aren't just fighting the team right in front of you, you're fighting a global tide of hopefuls who all want the exact same thing. But here is the crucial point to remember. 1. Despite that massive influx of talent, and despite how many come to take the spot, mathematically speaking, there is only a single victor at the end of the day. The true pressure lives in that crazy juxtaposition between the many and the one. You literally have to navigate through an ocean of the world's best, fully knowing that second place is, in the context of this anthem's narrative, just the first loser. Section 3, the urgency of now. Let's talk about the ticking clock. This perfectly illustrates the core conflict going on inside an athlete's mind. You have the blunt demand for action. Shoot if you got the shot, directly facing off against the terrifying consequence, a choice to regret. The song forces a hard binary choice. There is absolutely no middle ground here. If you hesitate, if you don't take your shot when the universe suddenly presents it to you, you're going to be left with regret. It contrasts that ultimate push for immediate, fearless action against the crushing heavy weight of looking back and wondering, what if on the world stage? And to really drive that fear of regret home, the track repeatedly hammers this specific line, hurry up, you ain't got too much time. It's purposely used to engineer this deep, almost stressful psychological sense of a closing window of opportunity. I mean, in a soccer match, time is literally ticking away on the clock, right? But in life, and definitely in elite careers, the window for peak performance is equally finite. The anthem uses the concept of time as a weapon to completely destroy hesitation. You can't just sit around waiting for the perfect moment. You gotta act now, because that clock is entirely unforgiving. All right, Section 4, the warrior mindset. Let's dig into the required identity. Based strictly on the themes woven throughout these lyrics, we get a crystal clear definition of the ultimate competitor. A warrior isn't just someone who plays the game well. A warrior is someone who generates super energy, which is a phrase we'll look at a bit closer in a second. It's someone who seizes the moment utterly without regret and who relentlessly fights for that singular, highly contested top spot. It basically requires a complete transformation of your character. Then, right at the emotional climax of the track, the lyrics suddenly shift inward. The commands completely stop, and it becomes this intense first-person declaration. I am a warrior. The artists are actively asking the listener, the fans in the stands, and the players on the field to repeat this mantra. It's a psychological tool called self-affirmation. By taking on this powerful athletic identity internally, the individual mentally equips themselves to handle all the external chaos and pressure of the tournament. Section 5. Bringing the heat. We have finally reached the climax. As the opening match physically approaches in the context of the performance, the song demands nothing less than absolute maximum output, super energy. It's totally not enough to just be motivated. The phrasing here implies this hidden reserve of power that goes way beyond normal human capacity. It's that secret extra gear that only the truly elite can somehow find when they are dead exhausted, when the clock is ticking down to zero, and when the entire world is watching them. It's literally the fuel of the warrior. As the beat drops and the song nears its end, we hear this phrase repeating over and over. Getting closer. You can physically feel the anticipation building up in your chest. The lyrics serve to remind everyone that the ultimate moment isn't just some distant, abstract concept anymore. It is arriving right now. It perfectly mimics that nerve-wracking feeling of a team standing together in the tunnel, listening to the deafening roar of the crowd, knowing they were just seconds away from stepping out onto the grass. The conceptual suddenly becomes immediate reality. And finally, the anthem reaches its absolute peak with a single, highly visceral word, heat. The song ends by repeating this over and over again. It signifies the ultimate crushing pressure of the tournament. The heat is the scrutiny of billions of eyeballs, the weight of an entire nation's expectations, and the burning desire to be the one standing at the top. It is the crucible where true warriors are forged and where legends are permanently made. It's an incredibly powerful note to end the whole performance on. Ultimately, this explainer shows how a hype anthem like Siir Siir does so much more than just sound good echoing through a stadium. It is a highly structured psychological gauntlet. It lays out the impossible odds, starts a ticking clock, demands immediate action, and challenges you to adopt an unbreakable mindset to survive the immense pressure. The song leaves us with a very direct challenge, and so will I. When your moment finally arrives, when the heat is well and truly here, what will you do? Are you a warrior? Thank you so much for joining me to decode this amazing piece of source material today. Stay focused out there and keep learning.